As single women over 50, we don't get many invitations to pause, reflect, and realign before the next year rushes in. This episode of Jesus People Sisterhood is part 3 of our discussion on the Diary of a CEO episode featuring Chris Williamson, where he asks one sobering question. If you don't fix certain things now, is next year already lost? We take that idea and bring it home into real life, real faith, real seasons of singleness after 50. This isn't about hustle, grinding, or making 2026 bigger and better. It's about gently looking back at 2025 and asking, what drained me? What did I tolerate that quietly shaped my life? Where was God nudging me? And did I listen? What do I want to carry forward? And what do I need to finally lay down? We talk honestly about regret, hope, faith fatigue, and the freedom that comes from reflection without shame. If you felt like time is moving fast, or that you've been invited into a new chapter but aren't sure how to step into it, this conversation is for you. As 2026 begins, let's make sure we're entering it awake, grounded, and walking with God on purpose. Welcome to the Jesus People Sisterhood podcast, a place where Christian single women aged 50 plus connect. I am your host, Janine Jordan, a Christian confidence coach and leadership mentor in Alberta, Canada.
And I'm your co-host, Ellie McCormick, a Christian longevity coach and mentor in the USA. Being single women over 50, we know what it's like to feel overlooked, to have unrealized dreams, to experience the challenges of singlehood, and to be concerned about what our future will look like. We couldn't find anything online for single Christian women over 50, so we created Jesus People Sisterhood just for you, a place where sisters encourage and empower one another through the last third of life, because you are a treasure trove of wisdom and of exceedingly great value. This is an authentic community, a supportive family, with other women on the same journey where Jesus is the center of it all. Here you will find real talk, real community, and real sisters.
Join us as we discuss building relationships, whole health, and growing spiritually. We'll review helpful books and articles, chat with guest speakers, share success stories, and have some laughs along the way. So grab your favorite beverage and we'll get started. Welcome, sisters, to this episode of the Jesus People Sisterhood podcast, the only podcast specifically for single Christian women over 50. Today, we give a shout out to our sisters in Spain. Thank you for listening. It's a blessing to provide this podcast for free, but it does cost us to produce Jesus People Sisterhood episodes. It would be a great blessing to us that if you decide to buy a book mentioned in this podcast, you purchase it through the link in our episode show notes.
We want everyone to get to know our listeners, and so we'll be doing listener spotlight episodes from time to time. If you would like to share your testimony or what the Lord is doing in your life currently, or if you're leading in ministry or another field and would like to tell us about that for Jesus Sister Excelling in the Last Third episode, please contact us at support@JesusPeopleSisterhood.com. We would love to have our listeners come and share with the sisterhood. And now, let's get to today's episode.
Welcome back to Jesus People Sisterhood. Today's episode is part 3 of our conversation reflecting on a powerful idea inspired by the Diary of a CEO conversation with Chris Williamson. The idea that if we don't look honestly at where we've been, we may carry the same patterns right into the next year without meaning to. This episode isn't about pressure or reinvention. It's about awareness, wisdom, and inviting God into our reflection as single women over 50. We're talking about what 2025 revealed, what may need to shift, and how we can step into 2026 with more peace, clarity, and intention. If you've been sensing that quiet nudge to slow down and take stock, this episode is for you.
If you've not listened to parts 1 and 2, please go back and listen to those previous episodes first. Those are episodes 77 and 78. And now we pick up the discussion where we left off last week. I
Yeah.
think the Lord wants us to be intentional about our life.
Yeah.
We're given so many years that we're on this earth, and
Right.
our life is not our own.
Yeah.
We say this all the time.
Yeah.
We're called to be good stewards of that life.
Hmm.
And I think we just take it for granted a lot.
We do.
One of the other questions that, and in
Oh,
just a moment, we'll kind of go through some of the questions that are in the review that, again, you all can get if you go to Chris Will X review,
yeah.
is what would you do that would make your 85-year-old
Yeah.
self miserable? Which is a
Hmm.
big thing for these guys, okay, because
Hmm.
they're young men and usually, I mean, I guess you could say they're not that young. I know that Steven's like 33. They're in their
Yeah. That's what.
30s, maybe.
Mhm.
But obviously for us, that's young. So to think about, because so often when you're younger, you know that that age of being in your 50s or your 60s or your 70s is up there somewhere,
Right.
but it still seems a long way off.
Yeah.
I know for myself, it was like all of a sudden I was there. Part of it was because I had so much trauma right around that time. Like I separated from my spouse so many months before I turned 50. And then I had years of going through a terrible divorce.
Hmm.
So that's part of why I feel like I was caught off guard that all of a sudden I'm this older woman. And my life looked totally different than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be married,
Hmm.
right? And my old age would be with my spouse. Well, that didn't happen. So that was an interesting question. And I
Hmm.
think even as older women, that again, I've in a previous episode, the one I did on longevity, where it was imagine
Hmm.
20 or 30 years from now. If you live another 20 or 30 years,
Yep.
which is very likely, or even 10,
Yep.
what could you do now to please that person that you're going to be 10 or 20 years from now? If you think back 10, 20, 30 years
Right.
before now, when you were 40 or 30 or 20 or whatever the age is,
Yep.
what do you wish you would have chosen to do then
Right.
to make your life much better now?
Hmm.
And it's the same thing. We don't realize we still have time.
Right.
We still
Yep.
have time on this earth. And what are we doing that's going to make us miserable because
Right.
we're making wrong decisions today?
Hmm. Yeah.
And I thought it was really interesting. So Stephen said he felt like the biggest thing was his health.
Yep.
That if he
Sure.
didn't take care of his health, which I was like, you know me, I was like
True.
all
Yep.
on top of that. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm
Hmm.
so proud of Stephen for realizing that.
Hmm.
Is that he thought I physically want to take care of myself because I know that I can't see that at 85 I'm going to be all hunched over. I can't do anything. I can't walk.
Yep.
I can't lift things. I can't take care of my family. And that's for all of us.
Right.
Again, if you're a believer, you need to take care of your life. You need to be a good steward. And it's physical, emotional, spiritual, relational.
Yep.
Those are all important things.
They are. Yeah.
So
That's true.
even all the reason that we're even doing episodes like this, like the last three episodes,
Hmm.
is because we only have a certain amount of time left on
Yep.
this earth.
Hmm.
And I find so many of us are either pursuing things that we've deceived ourselves as that that's what we need, whether
Yeah.
it's money or whatever it is that that could be, or we're just kind of complacent and we're
Hmm.
just kind of lulled into this, I'm
Exactly.
just
Yep.
kind of going through life
Yep.
and not being a good steward of what God's given us. We're just kind of lulling to life and then all of a sudden we're very sick, we have a chronic illness, and then we pass
Yep.
away.
That's right.
I don't want that happening for my
No.
sisters. It's just so important.
No. It is.
So,
And I love the idea of, when you were explaining how you were going through that tough time, that divorce time, and then after time, and then all of a sudden you bumped into your life now, right? And it's like, whoa, I don't know whatever happened, but there was so much that was going on in that turmoil in that time. And for myself as well, there's like so many things that happened And boom, all of a sudden you're a decade older, and it goes quickly. It goes very
Hmm.
quickly.
Hmm.
And most of the things, even now that we worry about, like, and they brought that up, was most things you worry about won't matter in 3 months. Now, you may still have your constant problems of certain things, but the things that are on your mind right now, those things that are those negative little things that are bothering you every day, are not going to matter in the next 3 months. And so you need to change your focus. You need to deal with your stuff, change your focus, and remember that you are progressing, that every day that is passing, sister, that you're not going to get that back. You're not going to get that back.
Right.
And so you don't get meaning by waiting. You don't get, obviously, you have to be wise. I'm not saying that, but just sitting in your negativity or in your complacency is not a place to be. It's happening. Your life's happening now. And I think that's the biggest thing that we talk about, that urgency of living. Yeah.
Right. I think there's also some ladies out there who they're living a nice Christian life. They go
True.
to church on Sundays, they've got their church friends, they go to Bible study,
Yep.
maybe they go to prayer meetings, although churches don't have prayer meetings anymore, which is really
Not
sad.
very many. No.
And they're maybe doing their little ministry, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and that's their life.
Hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that because that may be what God wants. But I wonder if you are living a life out of habit
Mm.
and not out of calling. You're living a life
Hmm.
that's not sensitive to what the Holy Spirit is telling you to do. You're just, because it's a Christian life
Hmm.
and you've got these good habits and you're not doing anything bad, really, that
Hmm.
you are just okay with that. And
Yep.
it may be okay, but I just want to challenge you to seek the Lord, whether that is
Yeah.
what He wants you to do. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that life, but it's my concern is that some ladies are just think, well, I'm doing this Christian life,
Yep.
and so that I'm good. When
Hmm.
the Christian life is so much more than that. Again, it's like when things are just okay, you don't change, you don't
Right.
grow, you don't make the tough decisions, you don't pursue the things. You're just like, oh, well, I'm comfortable here, and that's where I stay. And
Hmm.
God often does not want us just in being comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. And for those of you out there who are dealing with really tough stuff, our heart goes out to you. For those of you who are battling illness, or, or relational problems, or financial problems, or those sort of things, you can still be a character in your own life. You can still have autonomy. You can still make choices. You are not alone. And you can make changes in your life that will affect everything, even if they're one or two changes. And this, using the material that's we'll put at the bottom of the show notes there. What was it called again, Ellie? It was called the
Annual review template from
yeah, the
Monica.
annual review template. Yeah. So sisters, it's here. It's a resource. You could try, just see what you think of it. And then another thing you can do is join our Facebook group. We are looking for sisters to come and join our private Facebook group, and we're here if you need support. We're here if you want to throw around some ideas. Maybe you have some great ideas about, some changes that you're going to make in your life in the 2026 year, and you want to share that with our sisters too. I mean, we'd love to hear how you're going to, how and what you feel the Lord is calling you to do, and always open to that. And just to know that we understand too that there are hardships, but truthfully, for those of us, we can always do something. There's always something that we can change, and even like you said, those two things, just two things, and they can make a really big difference in our lives. Yeah.
Yes, and Lord, we just pray for wisdom for all of our sisters in this
Mm,
conversation, Lord, that you would make clear to them, highlight to them things
yeah.
that we've talked about today
Mhm.
that you want them to focus on, questions to ask themselves, thoughts and ideas. And for our sisters who maybe they are really struggling right now and they might feel like they're in survival mode, Father
Right.
God, that you would enlighten them, give them wisdom to see, okay, they're in a difficult situation, but we know that those difficult situations are what can catapult them. It
Right.
can catapult us
Yeah.
into finding what God has for us to do, into not being complacent where we're at, that we can change things,
Right.
that God empowers us to change things. And Lord, that you would just reveal that to them, each of
Mhm.
them,
Each.
solutions, Lord, and
Mhm.
guidance, and the
Yeah.
path that you have for them. Ladies, I'd like to go over a little bit some of these questions. I don't know, Janine, do you have those questions in front of you? Or I could
No.
just read some of
Yeah,
them.
just go ahead. Read the questions there. Yeah.
So the way he has it up, there's not a lot on here. He has four categories. He's got review, memories, plan, and then final thoughts. So
Hmm.
I'm just going to kind of go through these. Maybe I'll linger on anything I think was really great. But again, you guys can get this yourselves. You can go to the link we'll have for the Diary of CEO episode, and then on that, he gives you information on how to get this. So the
Hang on,
first
hang
one
on.
says, how has this year gone? Obviously, this is the review section.
Right.
And I think it is, again, I just feel like we don't stop and do these things.
Okay,
Whether
can we
it's
just
laziness, whatever it is, we just don't. But we should.
mhm,
We should reflect on these. God tells us to ponder our path. So let's take time to think about how has 2025 gone for you?
mhm,
What went well? What went badly?
mhm,
And why? What lessons did I learn? What did we learn this year? What habit or system accounted for most of my success? What are the most valuable ways I spend my time?
mm, yeah.
How can I find more time for this? What brought me the most happiness? How can I help these activities to happen more often?
Mhm,
Who are the people that had the greatest impact on me?
mhm,
How can I see and collaborate with them more? What did I expect to complete but didn't? Is this still an important goal of mine? If so, how can I make future follow through more likely? What are the least valuable ways I am spending my time?
mm,
The
mhm.
first thing comes to my mind is phone.
Yeah,
Don't.
absolutely. Yeah.
How can I prevent myself from continuing to spend time in this way? Have my goals or priorities shifted over the last few months?
Mm,
Is there anything I am still doing that is no longer in alignment, and why?
right. Oh, that's a good one.
And then under memories, he has like best surprise, best meal, just for you to go over the best things that happened, what their favorite thing that happened. There's something on there. It's just like this was written by young men. Then plan, what would I do this year if I wanted to make 85-year-old me miserable?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, that's like not take care of myself physically or whatever. And then what would 85-year-old me wish I did more of?
Mm,
What things make my days go terribly? What do I think is productive that isn't? I'm not going to go through all these. I'm going to skip down now to final thoughts.
yeah.
Is what would have had to have happened by the end of next year for me to look back on the year and consider it a success?
Mm, that's a
So
good
they,
question.
if by the end of 2026,
Hmm.
imagine we're there a year from now.
Yeah.
What would have happened this coming year for you to consider it to have been a success?
Hmm. Yeah.
That's a
And
lot to think about.
it
Yeah.
is. And they're really good questions. And again, we think that ladies should definitely download it and take time to reflect on that, right? So there are some very good questions there. Yeah.
So we're going to just go through a couple of things I've seen on social media that hopefully might give some of you ladies some ideas. We're just going to throw them out there. I'm going to go through them really quickly, what I've seen posted. Here's one that's how to do a hard reset on your life before 2026, which obviously by the time you hear this, it will be 2026, but you could still put these things into practice. This suggests doing the Wheel of Life exercise. And basically, how it works is a lot of coaches use this is you kind of rate the different areas of your life, like health, career, spirituality, community, physical fitness, etc. And then you decide, depending on how you rate it from 1 to 10, with 10 obviously being the best, is which areas maybe you think you need to work on. So if you're pretty happy with your health, let's say you're at an 8, but your finances are at a 1, then you might say, okay, I need to take care of my finances. It's kind of like a way of reflecting on your life and figuring out, helping you make a plan of what you need to address, I guess is probably the best way to put it. They also suggest probably one of the big things is to fix your sleep habits. I think few people realize how much sleep affects every area of your life. And they put some things on there that Andrew Huberman talks about sleep. So that's
Mm.
something to consider. And decluttering your physical and digital space. That really puts stress on you and distracts you and requires time and effort and affects the whole rest of your life too. Again, you could go back to, we have 2 episodes on minimalism
Yep.
and decluttering. I recommend you listen to. And then they have in this is a continuous post, create a stop doing list or a not do list because everyone obsesses over what to add, new habits, new routines, new goals. But the fastest way forward is usually through subtraction, which again, Chris Williamson talked about in the Diary of a CEO episode.
Right.
You have to not only think of all the things you're going to do, but the things you need to stop doing. And curate your information diet,
Mm.
which I feel kind of silly bringing that up since we have just bombarded you with a lot of information in this episode. So the point is to glean through it the things that are important that are going to be helpful to you in your life. So your diet isn't only what you eat, it's what you read, watch, and listen to on a daily basis. So choose carefully. A lot of us are wasting time on social media and other things that are not adding to our life. And also not even the waste of time, but affect us negatively, right?
Right.
So they're
I,
just,
I, yeah, I think that you could even for there, I think it would be really interesting to actually log the time you spent on social media.
yeah.
And that might be something really helpful just to push you in that direction of trying to eradicate a lot of that out of your life.
They have this suggestion of set aside 30 minutes to unsubscribe from emails you don't read,
Oh,
unfollow accounts that make you feel like crap, and excuse me, because some people are offended by that word, and remove apps that waste your time.
yeah.
Yeah. I used to be on X. I used to be on it. I like didn't use it for years, and then some things were happening with a ministry that I was part of. So I was on it all the time reading what was going on because it was a big blow up. And then I just had to get off of it. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Close your open loops. The fastest way to declutter your mind. So sit down and write out everything that's pulling at your attention, exactly what Janine just said. Unfinished tasks, unanswered messages, random to-dos. And for each one, either you do it, you schedule it, or you let it go.
Mhm.
It's like closing the open tabs in your brain. And reclaim your mornings. What you
Mhm.
do in the first 60 minutes of your day sets the tone for the rest of it. So protect it ruthlessly. That's why most of us, first thing in the morning, we want to give the first to the Lord. People say, of course, that affects the whole rest of your day. I always, when I open my eyes, I'm like, good morning, Lord. Today's going to be a good day with Jesus. And commit the day to Him and commit myself to Him.
Mhm. Yep.
Here are some rules that they follow. No phone in the bedroom, no screens for 30 minutes after waking. It's all the stuff like Chris was just saying. Drink water before coffee, write down top 3 priorities for the day, and protein within the first hour. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is called Create the Life You Want in 1 Year.
Mm.
Do a life audit. Doing a life audit is crucial for pinpointing where to make adjustments and jump-starting your new journey. Start by figuring out where you stand in the areas of life. And they give you health, finances, personal development, career, relationships, self-care, home, life, and free time. What changes would make the biggest impact in your life for each area? This is kind of similar to the Wheel of Life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make mindset shift. Your
Mm.
mindset is what sets the tone for everything in your life. Changing your mindset is what will change your life. What we think and believe is what we act upon. We know that. As a man thinks, so is he. Change your perspective from now on. Anytime anything negative happens, instead of feeling like a victim, ask yourself what you can control or change, or what God is teaching you, because this is probably not from a Christian. That's always the first thing. It's like, okay, God, you're having this happen. This is going on. What do you want me to do? What do you want to teach me?
Yep.
Create a vision. Having a vision means we have a clear sense of purpose. It means we have a much larger picture of our business or our life than simply setting and reaching short-term goals and tackling problems as they come along. Visions are driven by passion and dreams, and they are reflected through genuine efforts to create tangible results. So you got to have a why. You got to have a something that you're moving towards because what was that somebody saying was like if you don't have a goal, then you can get on any train. Any train will get you there, right? If you don't have a place you're going to,
Right.
and then you're all over the place, and then all of a sudden your life's over and you've gone nowhere.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Work on
Destination.
yourself daily. Once you have your vision, the fog lifts and your roadmap starts to become clear again. But nobody is going to drive the car for you. You've got to put in the work to achieve your goals and change your life.
There's no
Consistently,
rescuer except for
daily I
Jesus.
mean, well, God is our rescuer, but
Yeah.
we still have to make the right choices. And especially, I think it's one thing when you're a child, but we're not children anymore.
No.
I mean, maybe there's some sisters who are new in the faith. And so, yeah, the Lord is going to be a lot more gracious, I think, with them. But a lot of us have known the Lord for quite some time.
Hmm.
And shame on us if we're still acting as if like babies in the Lord.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And design your environment for success. We have a Atomic Habits book study that we're doing with some ladies, with some Jesus People sisters. And this is one of the things that's in Atomic Habits is, you're trying to make your life, your environment conducive to your goals.
Right.
So if you want to change your life, you aren't the only thing that has to change. Your environment has to change too.
Support your goals. Yep.
Yeah, learn new skills and improve upon your existing ones. We should always be learning and growing. So nothing will change your life faster than building new skills, whatever the case. Imagine a year where you start out having a limited skill set and then you dedicate time during your day to build your skills. And the encouragement it is to us when we accomplish new things and we learn new things and we
Mhm.
see ourselves improving at something, that's so encouraging. And then
Success is.
yeah. Lastly, enjoy the process. The whole point of this exercise is to change. That means your thoughts and behaviors will change throughout the year.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, you have to have that enjoyment of being in the moment, right? Just like they were talking about and living in the moment, enjoying the people that are in the moment. Maybe not all of them all the time, but you're right. Being present and not letting it all slip away quickly. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is 12 micro habits to start for 2026. The
Okay.
5 minute start rule. Start anything for just 5 minutes. Okay, we talked about this. Start anything, sorry, for just 5 minutes. Workouts, journaling, cleaning. Momentum is built through motion, not motivation. So action rewires hesitation into discipline. So if you wait till you feel motivated to do something, you'll never do it. When we were talking about the procrastination.
Yep.
So just say, okay, I'm just going to sit here for 5 minutes and
Hmm.
write one sentence if that's
Hmm.
it. Or I'm going to go to the gym for 5 minutes. Or I'm going to get my gym clothes out. And then maybe tomorrow I'll actually put them on. It's just starting it and then every day working at it. Journal one honest line a day. You don't need to write essays, just truth. One raw line builds awareness, which builds growth, and reflection turns experience into wisdom. Touch grass daily, literally. Now, this is kind of hard when it's cold. Like, I don't think Janine's going to be touching grass in the morning.
Not for a few months, Ellie.
It would just be snow. But they do talk about this is really good for you. So, and maybe at some point you go outside, breathe real air, feel the ground. Your nervous system resets faster in nature than in any app. And calm isn't found, it's felt. So maybe our Australian and New Zealand sisters,
That's
they can
right.
go do it because it's summer there. Okay.
Yeah.
One digital sunset rule. Turn off all screens 60 minutes before bed. You'll think clearer, sleep deeper, and wake lighter. Clarity is what remains when noise fades. Daily 15-minute learning block. Listen to an audiobook, read 10 pages, or study one topic deeply. Small knowledge stacks into massive advantage. Learning a little daily compounds faster than binge learning rarely. So, and I've thought about this is I try to read before I go to bed because it helps you get sleepy. And I do feel like, well, I'm only going to read 2 pages. Well, that's great. If you're doing
Mhm.
it every night, then you're slowly reading through the book,
That's true.
right? I mean, you just keep
Yep.
doing it. Even if
Yep.
it's you end up, I only read 2 pages tonight. Okay. So what? Just keep doing it.
Yep.
And then one screen-free meal. Eat without distractions, reconnect with your senses and your food.
Mm. Yep.
Presence during simple acts trains focus everywhere else.
Yeah. Good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really look at screens all the time when I eat, but I listen to stuff.
Ah,
I
okay.
don't know. I wonder if I should rethink that. I'm always trying to kill two birds with one stone.
Mm.
Declutter one thing. Don't wait for motivation to clean your life. One drawer, one file, one thought, gone. Physical space mirrors mental space. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably
Yeah.
what's part of wrong with my life.
It's funny that it's mentioned in so many things, and that decluttering does take up your energy, doesn't it? It just every time you look around and there's something out of place, you think, ah,
Right. It's doing it a little bit at a time. And again, this is
right.
also an atomic habit,
Mm-hmm.
which like the best book on habits
Mm-hmm.
and to make you productive and successful in that. So
Right.
say no without apology. Wow, that's tough for a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
Protecting your energy is a productivity skill. Every no builds focus and self-respect, and boundaries are how you teach the world to treat you. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude moments before sleep. Don't chase more, notice enough. End your day scanning for good, not gaps. Gratitude rewires your mind for calm, not chaos. When they talk about this is like secular people, they talk about the brain, how it naturally goes to negative thoughts. It always looks for the negative.
Right.
And of course, their reason is that survival,
Right. Fight or flight.
evolution, that for
Yeah.
survival, you have to focus on the negative so you can survive, right? And overcome this problem. But I think it is true that God probably did have it where our brains look at problems, look at the negative so that we can solve it, right? And so that we can survive. That is true. So we have to purposely look for the positive
Mm-hmm.
because our mind will naturally focus on the negative. And the Lord wants us to be thankful. The 2-minute reset rule between tasks, breathe deeply, stretch, or pause. Mini resets prevent burnout and restore focus. Energy is preserved through stillness, not caffeine. Or I think also, if you're working at the computer for a long time, every 45 minutes or an hour, you get up and do some squats or some physical activity because it's really unhealthy just to sit.
That is true.
It really is good for your brain. You are going to be thinking and you are resetting in so many ways
Mm-hmm.
when you do that. Ooh, this is a challenge. One bold conversation weekly. Say what you've avoided. Truth frees mental bandwidth. Authenticity reduces hidden tension, and courage compounds faster than confidence.
Yeah.
You think you're going to do that?
One, I don't know if I have enough for one every week, but I'm sure there things will arise. And I do believe that once you have some success, you definitely become stronger and you can maybe have a better success with other things that you have to do, for sure. Hmm.
Plan tomorrow before you sleep. Yeah, I think a lot of us know this. 5 minutes of planning saves hours of confusion. Nighttime clarity creates morning momentum. Order your mind and your day will follow.
Hmm.
Some people are really good at this because it's a habit.
Right.
I don't know, when it gets to nighttime, I just don't feel like doing anything. Do you get
Well, I think as been a teacher for so many years, I mean, it's pretty much ingrained. That's all you think about is the next, the next time period and what you'll fill it with and how that'll look. So for me, that comes pretty naturally, but for others, I'm sure that can be something that we can all implement and do better, right? We
Mhm.
can all think about that, even on the days when we're not working or so to speak, and we have days off. It's nice to have your day couched in some kind of a timetable anyway. Maybe not Sunday, but other days for sure.
Yeah. By 2026, with these 12 micro habits, your success won't be defined by goals, but by the habits you practice quietly every day.
Hmm.
Small daily choices build invisible empires. In Atomic Habits, he talks about
Yeah,
having goals, but there's something to that you're moving towards, but it's really your systems, the
right.
habits that you develop that move you forward and
Right.
help you to actually reach any goals
Yeah.
to be successful. So I think that's good. And then this will be the last one we'll do. I hope you ladies are getting some ideas and feeling encouraged. How to plan your 2026 quarter by quarter.
Hmm.
So the first quarter, January through March, they're calling the foundation quarter. This is your setup phase. So don't go crazy with 47 goals. Just pick two or three big priorities.
Hmm.
What needs to be fixed or organized, what foundation needs building, and what's been ignored too long in your life. And they give examples like get finances organized and start an emergency fund. Build a workout routine that actually sticks. So if you go back to the Chris Williamson, Stephen Bartlett conversation, it was like, don't say I'm going to the gym every day.
Right.
It's more, I won't go more than 2 days or 3 days without going to the gym. Deep clean and organize your living space. Winter energy is low anyway, so use the first quarter to set up systems that make the rest of the year easier. Then the second quarter, April through June, they're calling the momentum quarter. So spring energy kicks in, time to push harder. Review the first quarter, what worked, what flopped, and adjust accordingly.
Hmm.
The
Yep.
second quarter is for doubling down on what's working, starting that side project, making big moves like a job search or launching something new, and taking calculated risks. So the weather's nice or getting nicer, days are longer, energy is high, and this is the quarter to be aggressive with your goals. Then we have the third quarter, July through September, which they call the discipline quarter. Summer hits different. There's vacations, barbecues, distractions everywhere. So this quarter tests if your habits are real or just temporary motivation.
Hmm.
Focus on maintaining, not losing progress from quarters one and two,
Hmm.
not abandoning the plan because summer vibes, staying consistent when it's hardest, and quarter three separates people who talk about goals from people who achieve them. Plan easier wins here. Don't schedule your hardest challenges during peak distraction season.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then the last quarter of the year, October to December, which is the sprint quarter. Last chance to finish strong. October 1st check. Where are you versus where you wanted to be? Two pass. Either one, you're crushing it, so you set up 2027 early and enjoy holidays stress free, or two, you're behind. So 90 days is enough to salvage the year.
Hmm.
The fourth quarter strategy is pick one thing to finish before December 31st, let go of goals that no longer matter, plan January 2027 in November, not January 1st when everyone else scrambles, and end the year with momentum, not regret. There's some more here, but I think that gives us a lot of ideas.
Right.
Hope lady maybe go back through and listen to this a couple times and prayerfully ask the Lord what he wants you to glean from it,
Hmm.
to implement, to think about, to pray about,
Right.
what changes you need to make, because don't let your life just pass you by.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you brought up some really good things there. And that last quarterly one makes sense as well with your energies and the things that are going on through the year. And there's no right way to do your planning. There's vision board, there's writing it down month to month, or having those sort of things. There's just lots of ways to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. But we hope that these ideas that we've shared will inspire you to do something to set you up for success for next year, and to so that you can have a really successful and fulfilling year, and that you can do the things that the Lord calls you to do, and also to feel like you've made some accomplishments throughout the year too. It's always nice to look back and say, hey, this went well. Something went well. And yeah. So I think all in all, hopefully our ladies can learn some things, and again, like we said, we're always open to your suggestions, open to whatever you want to share with us and on our Facebook accounts. And I think it was a pretty successful time that we had here today too, just sort of back and forth and trying to inspire others to do their best for the Lord. Yeah. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it, Ellie.
It's my hope and prayer that a year from now,
Mm. Yeah.
that all our listeners will look back on the year and be pleased with
Hmm.
whatever they did, to feel like they did accomplish what God wanted them to do,
Hmm.
that they didn't waste another year.
Right. Maybe
So,
they tackled that hard thing.
right,
And yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. And who knows? None of us knows what a day will bring. We don't know the different challenges we're going to have this year,
right.
but let's be prepared. Let's be focused. Let's be working. Let's be growing. Let's
Mhm.
prayerfully be moving through the life that God gave us.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, God bless, ladies.
Hmm.
And next episode won't be on 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 planning the year or any of that. So hopefully you'll start implementing whatever you choose to do. So God bless.
Bye for now. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please share any thoughts that resonated with you from today's podcast episode in our private Facebook group at Jesus People Sisterhood Community. Start reaching out to other single women and create your local group of Jesus People Sisters. Please let us know about your group to add to our directory by contacting us at support@JesusPeopleSisterhood.com.
Have you had a good experience with a business? They've treated you honestly and helped you at a reasonable price? Please let us know. We would like to start a directory of JPS-friendly businesses. Let's care for one another.
Be blessed by Him who is able to protect you from stumbling and to make you stand in the presence of His glory, blameless and with great joy. Until next time.
Hey, sister, before you go, thank you for listening. If you found value in today's podcast, the best way to say thank you is by leaving a 5-star written review at Apple Podcasts. That raises us in the rankings and helps other sisters find us too. And please tell a friend or post it on your social media. If you're a single Christian woman over 50, this podcast was created specifically for you. The Jesus People Sisterhood is your community to find support and friendship with other sisters who can understand. Be sure to follow us on your podcast app and join our free private Facebook group at Jesus People Sisterhood Community.
Jesus People Sisterhood has also started a private Facebook group for housing and co-living opportunities. You can check that out at Jesus People Sisterhood Senior Housing. You can also find us on Facebook at Jesus People Sisterhood and individually for Janine at riseupcoachingandconsulting.com and for Ellie at samaramountain.com. And ladies, this is the necessary disclaimer. Our podcast content is for informational purposes and does not constitute professional advice from mental health, medical, legal, financial, or other areas. The opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host. It is our heart that this podcast will be a blessing to you. Together, let's build a powerful sisterhood with Jesus. Make a friend, add had a sister across the border and around the world.